What's up, guys? I'm Tanner Chidester, and in this video series, Justin Waller's team have come to Miami to immerse themselves in the world of online business with me as their guide. So buckle up and get ready to dive into the realm of entrepreneurship.
I'm Thomas. I currently run most of the integration process for Justin. I've been working for Justin for about 3 years. It's been a long journey with Justin, and yeah, it's just a fun process building a team up with these guys. Currently, we have a team of 63 people, and we're just doing day-to-day operations.
Hi, my name is Pavlo. I've worked with Justin for about 3 years. Kind of joined in with this guy on the right of me when about like 6 months, I would say, later after he started with him. I managed a sales team for Justin. I was the first guy, kind of sales guy, so I took on that entire role. Just took it as my own baby to grow into a tree.
My name is Breno. I've been part of the brand for, I think, 11 months now. I originally started. And I've been part of the main team for 4 months now, and I'm the videographer and I help with whatever systems they need help with. That's pretty much it.
The main goal for us is to learn more about Facebook ads, Google ads, since we've only been running organic for about 3 years. We've not touched a single ad in our life before. So that's the biggest thing that we want to learn. And this year we want to launch two different companies. One's a supplement company, and the main one that we're trying to launch is the construction business. So we're just trying to get a good idea of how we can start running ads, how we can use our organic audience to help sell more courses, change more lives, and yeah. That's the whole process that we're trying to go for.
Okay, so catch me up on y'all's names. What's your name? Bueno? Breno. Nice to meet you, man. Tanner?
Pablo.
Pablo?
Yeah.
Okay. Thomas, nice to meet you. Man, you guys are all freaking blowing this up. I'm gonna ask you guys some questions about the business in general, and I guess the first thing I'd like to know as you guys are filling that out is how many offers are you selling? Are you guys, and it's all around Justin, is that accurate? They're all offers around Justin?
Yeah.
Correct? Okay, so how many offers are we selling right now? Like 1, 2, 3, is he only selling the real world? Is he selling, I know he sells War Room. What else are you guys selling, if anything? I only know about the real world and War Room. What else are you guys selling?
Yeah, so outside of TRW and War Room, we also have Minect that we constantly do.
Yeah, okay, I saw that. Yeah,
with Patch with David.
Yeah, that's a nice site. Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. I'm going to take you through the basis of an offer. The reason I want you guys to see this is ultimately the way, again, obviously Justin is in charge, but the way I see what he wants you guys to do is he spoke very highly of you, and he's looking for you guys to be thinkers. For you guys to be thinkers, you have to really understand the strategy at a high level, which is why I want to do 6 days, and we're not going to do 2.5 hours, because 2.5 hours is going to be really fast. Again, like we were talking about today, we're going to focus on the offers. That's what you guys have right now. The reason I want to go over this is because with the amount of traffic Justin's getting, I think he's getting, just on his IG, he was getting 4 million impressions a month. I know his YouTube's down right now, but for context, that's about $200,000 probably dollars in ad spend a month. So for me to get that amount of impressions for that, it's 200,000, which is what is going to make a lot of profit in the companies, because you guys can sell anything essentially without having to pay for it. I've made a lot of money, but I have to spend a lot of money, and so that's the difference. So what we want to go through is understand what an offer makes good, and this is what we're going to cover for the 6 days. So what you guys can see on your screen right now, day 1 is the offers. Like I said, day 2 we're going to go over lead generation, Facebook ads, how to set it up, etc. Day 3 is going to be the lead nurture. Then day 4 is going to be sales, 5 is pipe fulfillment, and then it's going to be ascension. Okay, so right here, whenever I get clients, these are the only 3 things you want to sell around, right? Super basic: health, wealth, and relationships. Health, wealth, and relationships is where we want to stick with, because someone who doesn't know Justin is more likely to buy it. What's his benefit, and what you guys are going to find, is everything you do is going to be supercharged because there's a lot of trust, okay? So it's health, wealth, and relationships. These are examples on the screen of that, right? So fitness is pretty easy: how to lose weight, how to build muscle, how to do a handstand, how to fix back pain. Wealth is all going to be about how to make more or how to save. That's it. It's very simple. So either they're looking to make more money or save money. So you might see people who do funding offers, credit offers, how to do credit stacking where they increase their credit score. Tax offers where they'll say, hey, we'll help you save $100,000 on your taxes. That's what people are willing to pay for because they see the net benefit. Relationships, we won't get much into that, but something Justin could do, I don't think he's going to, but for example, there's going to be a lot of guys who want to get girls in the way Justin does, right? They're like, so Justin could make a course on that. I don't think he will, but if he wanted to, he could do it because the whole premise would be how to get, 25 dates in a month or whatever. Okay. So those are the three things. Now, have you guys read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So the reason we're going to go over that is because everything today that's baseline around that, what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is Justin can sell this just fine. But if he's going to start selling stuff on his own, at least the way I took it when I talked to him, is he's looking at you guys to really lead, right? Especially you, if you're the integrator, that's your job, is to really kind of see, like, implement the strategies and so forth. So with Alex Hormozy's book, I'm glad you guys read it. That's perfect. This here, I'm just going to make it simpler than what he wrote, but this one is the outcome. So the outcome is easy. It's, I'm going to help you make money, get in shape, etc. We already went over that. That's what you guys are going to stick with. This here is going to be risk, right? So how much risk is it? One of the reasons people buy this is not just because it's Justin or Andy or whoever, it's because it's cheap. There's low risk, right? So if I buy it, what do I lose? I could lose $47. If I buy this, let's say this is, 5 or 10 grand, higher risk, right? So people, it's harder to sell because it costs more. Obviously you guys get that. This one here is time. And then this one here is effort. So in the book, and what I want to really focus on this today is whatever you can sell, if it takes no effort and it takes no time, as you guys read in the book, that's what we want to sell. So for example, the reason SaaS companies do really well, typically, Alex Hormozy, he just got school. What does school do? It takes no time, takes no effort. There's also low risk because it's $97 a month and the outcome people want. That's why that's doing so well, and that's why he got behind it. If you look at my business model, it's a little different. And I just want to give you guys examples. So if you look at business consulting, so you guys are coming to me, essentially this is business consulting. You guys want the outcome, check. What's the risk? Well, you guys coming here today is lower risk because there's been nothing exchanged in terms of money, so that's okay, right? But if I said, hey, it's 20 grand, you guys might be like, I don't know, should we go to 10 or should we not? The time, it takes a lot of time. So when I have clients, I'll just talk about clients in this sense. There's risk that it might not work. So if I'm charging 10,000 or more, it's a lot of risk, right? At least in their heads. Time, they have to put in a lot of time. So I don't get this benefit. Effort, they have to put in a ton of effort. So what's funny is if you look at what I'm selling, I've made a lot of money, but it's actually much more difficult because there's a lot of risk, it's a lot of effort, there's a lot of time involved. The only thing I have in my favor is the outcome. So hopefully this is all making sense for you. So as you guys are selling things for Justin, the thing that you want to focus on as much as possible is how can we make it zero effort and zero time? Now, some things you just can't. So for example, fitness. The only thing that takes zero effort and time in fitness is liposuction, right? Or surgery, right? In business, there's really nothing that takes no time and no effort unless it's SaaS. So even in the real world, if they don't watch the course, they don't do the videos. War Room, they don't watch the course, they don't do the videos. They're not going to get any benefit. Minect is probably close to that. But the downside of maybe Minect is that it's hard to keep it recurring or charge a high price. I know they have some pretty high prices on there, but let's say, for example, if I go have a call with Justin, it's not a lot of risk, right? I'm gonna get the call. I really don't have to put any effort. I don't have to put in a ton of time, but then how can I get on recurring? That's what the real world does well, because it's low risk, so it can do that. I'll give you a real life example. So I get people who will apply to be a portfolio. I say no to most of them. So here's the offer. It's a day trading offer, all right? Now this guy was a former certified financial planner, and so he does a lot of day trading. So what he does is he helps people, we'll do the outcome for him, right? So he helps people do day trading. There's a lot of people who want that because they want to make more money, all right? This is for his specific offer. It's $25,000, all right? So it's 25K up. So he teaches people how to make money with day trading. The risk, it's pretty minimal. Well, I guess there is some risk, so we'll just put kind of like that. There's a little bit of risk involved because it's 25K, but it takes no time and it takes no effort. So the reason is because what he does is he has an algorithm he's built. They wire him 25 grand. After the 25 grand, they also give him, 50 to 100K, whatever the extra is. And then he puts it in an algorithm where I don't know all the particulars, but it's a 50% chance he wins or loses. And, based on this algorithm over X amount of time, they're going to make a big return, let's say 10% a month. So if you think about it, the reason it's easy to sell is he gets them on the phone, and as long as he can build trust, there's a little bit of risk here, but if they're paying 25K, they're already pretty rich. And then it takes no time and it takes no effort on their part. He does it all. That's why I partnered with him, because I knew if I partner with that type of company, it's going to sell better. So as you guys are building or creating offers, from what I heard from Justin, he's trying to do his own thing in conjunction. So whatever he sells, we may not be able to do that, but if you guys can think of this model, whatever it is, it's going to sell so much easier. So much easier. Doesn't mean you have to do this, but that's what I wanted to focus on today so that we understand that as we're building stuff out. All right. Other things that can make it good, if you guys look on the screen, is just those are different types of bonuses, right? And so when you're selling something, it's also easier if it's a good offer, obviously. Like Uber, for example, they haven't made money yet, but the reason Uber's good is because, again, no time, no effort. But things you guys can do is, depending on what you're helping them do, you'd say, hey, 30-day money back guarantee, 7-day free trial. So a lot of people now will do, hey, you're going to make X amount of appointments in a month or X amount of sales. The only thing you have to be careful about is probably on what you guys are going to sell. If it's going to be about making money, if you do guarantees, they have to be conditional. The reason they have to be conditional is if you say, hey, you'll make X amount of money in 30 days. Unless you guys can control the outcome, it has to be conditional. So let me give you an example. What do you think the product's going to be? Let's start there. Do you guys have any idea on what let's walk through that. What's the product going to be?
Yeah, so the product's going to be a construction group. So we're basically trying to take the average blue-collar guy and then get him up to millionaire status.
Okay, so that's the avatar who you're targeting, right? Construction guys.
Construction guys.
So what's the offer going to be? So when he buys it, what is he going to get? Let's talk about that.
When he buys it, he's going to get video modules first
Okay.
to follow, which will generally just address the main parts of construction. So
So it's how to build a construction business.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, you know that.
but that's for for people that are basically like foreman, bottom level, already know, have a little.
Got it. Okay, so
experience,
when you guys sell this, you're not going to be selling it to everyone, right? It's only going to be specific people.
that would
right.
be our demographic. Yeah, blue
Okay.
collar guys. Yeah.
So like blue collar guys. Okay. All right, I'm glad you're bringing this up because we're going to go into like pros and cons. All I'm trying to do today, I'm not trying to tell you guys anything you should or shouldn't do. That's your call. But I want you guys to see how I think about it so you can see pros and cons. This is great. So video modules, what else?
Video modules, which will obviously they'll break up into groups and they'll have their own subjects, and then there's going to be a community attached to it.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, is this only how to build your own construction company, or is it a myriad of things similar to, say, the real world? Whether there's, hey, you can do this, you can do that. Is it going to be all kinds of stuff or one thing?
It'll be all construction focused.
All construction focused. Okay, so we'll just say construction focused. Okay, so they're going to get video modules, community. What else? If anything.
We'll probably run events as well.
Nice. Yeah, you guys will be crushing events. My gosh.
And then I guess this might go into the category of events, but something like a small mastermind with Justin, like a small shadowing kind of situation.
So would that be where they might be on site with him possibly?
Yes.
Sick. Okay.
And then also one more thing, we're planning to do like bookkeeping services within, so like more like SaaS related type of
Bookkeeping for the companies themselves.
yeah, because bookkeeping is very important in construction.
Yeah, dude, I can imagine. It's crazy. Okay. So just so I'm clear, you're going to do an offer for blue collar guys. Essentially, Justin's going to find guys that want to have a construction business like himself, and then this is what's going to come with it. Is that all accurate?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So let's go through. Is there anything else I'm missing? And is there any other offers? Is this all you guys are focused on right now? Is there anything else that, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do this? Is it just this right now?
Well, first thing that we're going to really focus on is video modules before we end up going for the rest of the things. But that's number one, and then after that comes in, we're going to start doing the rest.
Okay, so to start, so to start, we're just going to be selling this essentially, and they're going to get access to the modules.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys know what the price points are going to be at? Or have a range maybe? Is it going to be like, is it going to be, $100, or is it going to be $10,000? Do you have any idea?
It'll probably be between $5,000 to $10,000.
Okay. When they pay for this, they're going to pay $5,000 or $10,000. And to start, you guys are only doing video modules. Is there any coaching, anything like that?
how Justin phrased it is you're gonna get the video modules and that's the introductory that you're gonna want to go through depending on what your level is.
Okay.
And the community is already attached to it. So that's when you can go into breakout rooms and like
Got it. And the community is going to be more everyone in the group together answering questions on their own. Is there any, because I think inside the real world, and I'm just asking for context, they have instructors. Is there anything like that to start?
Exactly.
Okay,
So
perfect.
there will be, I guess you can call them just like generals for each division of construction.
Is there a lot of different divisions?
16.
Okay, I don't know anything about
There's 16 divisions, so there'll be a general or a couple
Okay.
people for each one.
Okay, Justin's the only person I think I've met in construction. Obviously, I see it all the time, but I've never met anyone in it. Okay, so let's go through the same thing. And again, this is just for you guys to know. So this is a similar offer to what I have. We'll just consider this construction consultant. Let's call it that. So the outcome's good, right? There's going to be a good outcome. The risk, there is going to be some risk involved because they're going to be making the decision, hey, if I give you 5 to 10K, is it going to work? Regardless of what you say, because there's no way to do the modules for them and to do the work for them, period. There's no matter what you guys say. In terms of time, it's going to take a little bit of a time commit. In terms of effort, it's going to take a little bit of effort, all right? That's not bad. It can be done. I've done literally over 100 million in sales doing something similar, but I want you guys to understand that this is going to be harder overall than if you sold something else. Okay. So let me give you an example of something. Obviously you guys should do this first. And I also know why Justin's doing it because he's done it and it makes sense and he has a lot of credibility as a big artist. But let's say he came to me later and said, hey, Tanner, I want to sell something else. All right. So hypothetical here. Here's something else I could see Justin selling, or you guys could sell that people would buy. Well, let's just call it a social media course because he has a big following, right? So hypothetically, I don't know what all goes involved with it. I don't know what he would say would be the biggest thing. Maybe, you get all the credit and he's like, hey, he does amazing editing and stuff like that. Maybe it's the connections he gets on the podcast, but let's walk through possibly what could be done. So let's say his offer was, we'll grow your social media following, all right? And we'll go with the guarantee at the end. Let's say he has a guarantee in place. So right away, if we wanted to make this risk-free, he could say, hey, you'll grow at least 10,000 followers on Instagram or your money back. Or you'll grow 10,000 followers or we'll work with you till you do. It depends on what you would want to do, but this alone is a big thing for most people, and I think most people following him would like that. Right? That's something else you could probably sell. And I don't think anyone would say he's not an expert on it either. So then we go to the risk side. If you put in a guarantee, it goes down to 0. But I still think most people would be fine even without that. That's why the bottom, we always want to focus on the bottom. So I could see him hypothetically say, we'll grow your social media. The guarantee is here or there. But what you could do is he could say, we'll do all the editing for you. This is hypothetical. Right away, what if he said that? You guys could say, hey, we'll grow your social media, we'll work with you until you gain X amount of followers, and we'll do all the editing for you. Now, here's the good part. That's a really great offer because there's no risk, and they don't have to do anything. Here's the downside though, so think of it this way, and this is why our SaaS comes in that has an advantage. The downside is think of how big the editing team would have to be to fulfill on this. That's what a lot of people don't think about. So it's a great offer, but now you have to fulfill on it. That's where maybe SaaS could come in. So another way to do it is you can take that same offer and we can make it a little different. And we could say, hey, we're gonna help you grow your social media following and we'll teach you, we'll say this, we could say, so we'll still have time and effort here. So we could take the same offer and we say, hey, we'll help you grow your social media, but instead of doing it for you, we'll show you how to do it and we'll get you on X amount of podcasts. So Justin's been on a ton of podcasts. Now, I don't think he could just get anyone on, but hypothetically, if he could, what changed in this scenario? Well, now it doesn't take you guys quite as much effort to fulfill. It's easier for you guys. They have to put in a little bit of effort, right? It's gonna be a little bit. So we'll put this, and they have to put in a little bit of time, but now it's more easy for you guys to fulfill. Does that make sense? So it's just little tweaks and balances, but the best offer in the world is where they do nothing all across the board. So it takes them no time, it takes them no effort. The downside is if you guys have to do it. So in the future, if Justin had, Minette, for example, hits this, the downside is people just usually don't want to keep getting calls. But the thing is, get a call with Justin, right? There's zero risk. He's going to show up. Takes me no time except the hour, and there's no effort. The downside is just, is it something they're going to buy forever? That's why SaaS does well, because if people want the service forever, it's just going to do well. Let me just give you one example of an offer that doesn't work. People will come to me with a mindset or life coach offer. So the outcome is usually not very clear. They'll say, hey, I'm going to help you with your life coaching. And you might say, hey, what do I get for that? And they can't really explain what it is. Well, you'll be happier. That's not tangible. You'll feel better. That's not really tangible. You know, it's like, what does feel better mean? It can also take 4 months. That's the example I use. And then it's going to take effort. So some of the worst offers I've seen is not that mindset offers can't be used. It's that they don't make them tangible whatsoever. And so when they're trying to sell them, people go, I don't know you. Hey, it's $10,000 and you're going to feel better. I mean, you've heard some weird stuff, I'm sure. They'll talk about energy and all these things, and it's not bad. It's just that if it's not tangible, someone who doesn't know you won't buy. Specifically, this will be important when you guys run ads. So no matter what you guys sell in the future, you always use this formula so you can see the pros and the cons. All right? All right, now pricing. You guys said something between 5,000 to 10,000. Now, this is going to be important for ads. Now, again, the reason people want to work with you guys, besides that you guys are all workhorses and you're amazing and I'm sure you're great dudes, is that you're sitting on a gold mine. Why? Let's go back to what I said before. So this is Justin's following, and this is me. For all the outreach he gets, this costs me $200,000 a month to get the same amount of impressions. So if you take any business and cut expenses by 200 grand, what do you get? A lot of profit. That's why everyone wants to work with him and do this and that. He's also a great guy, etc. I'm not trying to take that away. It's just, he's sitting on something that is super expensive, right? And so when you guys are talking about the pricing, here's what I want you guys to understand. And we actually have this on the sheet. I guess we can do that since you're still to the sheet. So let's go left to right. When people are talking about the pricing, if you decide to sell that offer, let's say hypothetically, for $800 on the left, the reason it's going to work is because you don't have to spend any money on ads. This right here is organic numbers. So what I want you guys to understand is most people don't have this following. This is actually how long it would take for most people to win. So let's just look at the $800 product. Most individuals I coach to start a business, they have to do cold DMs. So they'll have to send 100 messages a day, 10 or 15 people will respond, 3 or 5 people will book a call and they'll close one. And then if you look underneath that, that's the amount of time it takes. So it'll take about 10 hours to make $800. So the reason I teach high ticket for most individuals is that if they don't have a following like Justin and what you guys are working with, is that's the amount of time it's going to take. The benefit you have is you guys don't have to go look for anybody. You just do a post, people will buy. So when you start, the lower the price, the more people will buy. Right? The downside is you're going to have a ton of fulfillment. So you guys have to be careful with that. If you sell it at 10,000, obviously, you're going to have less customers than if it's at 800. The reason I do high ticket is it allows me to charge a lot of money, which allows me to pay for my ads and pay for my team, and I don't have to have a ton of clients. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to make as much money as possible with as little clients as possible. Why? Because it's easier to run that business. The reason the real world works is there's not a ton of fulfillment. It's all community based, really. It's a subscription, and they have instructors, but it's more group and community. There's not a lot of one-to-one. The more people pay, the more one-to-one they expect. Right? So if you spent 20 grand with me, you'd expect some one-on-one. If you spent 20 bucks, you don't care. This is going to be important when you guys run ads. So let's go all the way over to, let's go to this page actually. So I want you guys to look at those numbers. The difference between running ads and the price you charge is based on this model. So if you look at the $800 product on the left, if you ran ads, you'd probably lose $200 per sale. That's the numbers you're going to typically get. So it's usually 10 bucks a lead. Sometimes it's 20. I'm going to guess with you guys, because of you're only doing this for blue collar workers, your ad cost is going to be way higher. Right? Let's actually do the math right now. Let's see how much. Let me type this in on Google. This is how we'll know. So what I can do really quick is I can go on Google and I can say how many blue collar workers in the US. Okay, so 167 million people. Perfect. So 13% of that, let's just say that's 20 million people. So that's actually not bad. What that means though is that, so out of all the people in the US, only 20 million people can see it. So when you guys run ads, and we're gonna cover this tomorrow, unfortunately with Facebook, it's interest-based targeting, which means you tell Facebook, hey, I wanna target blue collar workers. So what that will mean, and I'll show you guys tomorrow, is you can pick demographics. Demographics would be money, zip code, income, jobs, etc. Or you can pick an interest. So what are things blue collar workers like to do? Maybe, I don't know, you guys tell me, but let's just say hypothetically, they love to drink a lot of beer. And you say, this type of beer is their favorite. Or they like sports. You're guessing though, because I like sports and I'm not a blue collar worker. Does that make sense? So what's gonna happen is as you guys run ads, and this is one of the main things Justin was talking about with me, is you have to be able to still make profit. And so when you guys are looking at the numbers, on average, my bet is it's going to cost you $20 per lead. Again, a lead is someone who opts in, right? So when you guys run a landing, you guys get that. Okay, if there's anything I say you don't understand, please tell me. I make some assumptions. If it's 20 bucks a lead and you're going to get, let's say, 5 calls from that, it's going to cost you more than something else. And so what we have to make sure is that the product is priced high enough that after we run X amount of ads, we're going to make X amount of money. So in my business, just to give you guys an idea. Okay, so in my business, for example, we have products that range anywhere between 4,000 and 16,000. And on the sales day, I think you guys are gonna love it because you're gonna see how to make a lot more money, but that's on day 4. The reason for this is one, as I got bigger and I have a bigger team, we start creating more products for the sales guys to sell because if we get someone on the phone who can't afford this, we need them to sell something. Right? You guys aren't there yet, so don't worry about this. But for my team, I have such a big team that my goal is it costs me 25% or less of the price point. So what that means is I'm trying to make a sale for $4,000 or less. What does that mean? If I spend $10,000 in a day, my goal is to make 2 sales a day, right? Because it's going to cost me, on average, let's say it costs $8,000 to get 2 clients. So if I spend 10K a day, I get 2 sales. That's the type of math you guys would be looking at. So let's just do a normal number. Let's say you guys get up to $100,000 a month of ads with Justin. Let's say it costs you 20 bucks a lead. So for $100,000, you guys are gonna get, so you get 5,000 leads. Out of 5,000 leads, let's say you get a 10% booking. So you get 500 people who book a sales call. And let's say out of this, you guys close, let's pick a lower number. We'll say 20%. So you close 100 people. Now it doesn't usually work out that way, but I'm trying to give you guys an example. So if you closed 100 people, we would have to make sure if you sold it for, if you guys said you're selling it for 5,000, that would get you up to say 500K. And then depending on your team size, remember, you got to get the reps. So the reps are going to get 50K. So we're out, let me get a rep marker. Okay, so we're already out 100 grand. So we're at 100 grand. Then we have to pay the sales team 50K. Then let's just say hypothetically between you 3, it's going to cost another 30K. Then we got to pay the editors, etc. So the difference is that now, because of this, you have to be really tight on your numbers and margin. We're going to go over that tomorrow, but you have to know what your cost per lead is, your cost per app. App is a phone call, right? Cost per call, and your cost of acquisition. My guess when you guys start running ads is your cost per lead is going to be really high or higher because there's not as many blue collar workers. There's still a good amount, 20 million is a lot. But if I'm running an offer for crypto, everyone can do crypto. Yeah. If I'm running an offer for Amazon FBA, everyone can do it. So it's not bad. I also don't know anyone who's doing it. Do you guys know anyone who's doing that type of offer construction?
Yeah, there's a couple people.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But the good news is that there's not enough, I don't think, that it's going to make a big difference, and I can almost guarantee you they don't have as big a following as Justin. So if you mix his organic with paid traffic, the benefit is he's going to beat them. Dan Kennedy always talked about that whoever can spend the most wins. And so what's nice, and what you guys will find as you start running ads, is if Justin makes, I'm just going to throw out a random number, if he makes, I don't know why I did that, if he makes 500K a month on organic, and then you guys make another, I don't know, 500K on ads, and your expenses for the company are, let's say 300K, what's cool is Justin can make the decision to go, hey, I'm going to pocket this money, or I'm going to be super aggressive and I'm going to take some of this money and bump the ads up even more. And he can be pretty ultra aggressive until, honestly, if you guys were break even, so what some companies do is they'll break even. So if he makes 2 million, he'll spend 2 million to make 2 million or whatever. And then they upsell everyone on the back end to higher programs. I mean, there's so much you guys can do here, but that's on another topic, okay?
So
Yeah.
basically, like long story short, since we're selling to a very specific audience, the cost per lead is going to be higher because it's more specific, right?
Yeah, because there's only so much targeting you can do. Now, I know Justin's working on getting his YouTube back. I'm trying to help him with that. I don't know if it's going to work. I sent him a couple people. I know he also said he's had some other friends. But YouTube is usually better for more specific audiences because it's search-based. So if I type in how to build a construction company, your ad could pop up. What sucks with Facebook is no matter what demographic or interest you choose, it's hard to only get that person, which drives up the cost, right? Because you have to go from a click to the opt-in page, to the VSL, to the call. And so the more targeted it is, the harder it is to find that person, which drives up cost. What's the upside though? You have less competition. So a guy like me who's, hey, how to build an online business, there's a lot of competition. So I have cheaper leads, but I have a lot more people to fight against. That's the downside. So there's pros and cons in every business. But the best businesses I've seen that sell the most, it's everyone can get the same result. All the billionaires I've spoken to, I'll give you a couple other examples. There's a billionaire who sold, is called Weed Maps for 1.5 billion. The offer or the product was Yelp for weed. So think about it. They go there, they're looking for a weed store. The owners pay him to rank high, and the traffic is all organic and people are just paying like crazy. So what does he do? Nothing. Right? Bite was it's a
toothpaste, yeah.
Yeah, it's the braces. It's the braces, right? So that was the main thing, and they were competitor to Invisalign. So they beat them in marketing, but the other thing is, if you think about it, they slap on the braces, that's it. So there's more fulfillment than that, but it's really hard to get someone who's upset with their braces or their dental clean. I'm sure they're out there, but it's a lot harder because everyone's getting basically the same thing. In consulting, the downside you're gonna have is when you guys are doing the course, I promise you, you're gonna have someone who gets these results, and you're gonna have someone who gets these results. And the person who gets bad results, they'll blame you. And the person who gets the best results, they'll probably blame themselves too. And so you don't really win. You don't win no matter what sometimes, but all I'm trying to point out is you guys will sell a ton, you're gonna do well, but I wanted to at least make that point because no matter what he does or what you guys do with Justin, it's gonna work because he's got a lot of trust, he's built a big audience, he has a lot of leverage. But moving forward, everything I do in my businesses is with this in mind. I'm thinking, what can I sell and build that's gonna get everyone the same result, which is super hard to do, and that's why those businesses make so much money. Right.
Did Justin ever talk about like the other company that we're planning to start, which is Fierce? Yeah. So basically, what we're going to be launching is it's going to be called Fierce, and it's basically a supplement business.
Yeah, that's perfect too because that will scale with his audience.
Yeah.
And everyone can buy it. You see how that the boxes over there?
Yeah.
No time, no effort. There's a lot of competition, but the upside is if I see the same product, but I know Justin, I'm going to buy from Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. Sorry, T. Thank you.
Yeah. So do you think so Fierce versus the construction business, which one's going to make more money overall in terms of?
It's tough.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the pros and the cons. We'll put C for construction and we'll just do F for Fierce. So let's do the diagram. Here's the pros and the cons. All right. Pros here is you can have a much higher price.
Yeah.
Right? Way higher.
Can we do that other graph as well? Because
this graph here.
Alex Ramosi one, yeah.
Yeah, so remember, determined outcome is they're going to make more money. Okay, now, do you guys know on average, if you were to actually see the stats, do the average male, do they care more about fitness or money? What do you think?
Money.
They care about
Money, 100%. So see, this one's increased health. So it's not bad, but more guys, if you ask them, they'd rather be fat and rich than poor and fit, right? Yeah. So again, determined outcome, which one, this one's stronger. So this one is stronger in that sense. Now, what's the risk? This one, higher risk. This one, there's no risk. What's the risk? I mean, it's basically nothing because it's a supplement. Buy it once, it tastes like whatever. I think Andrew Tate started selling one, and his
Yeah.
email was actually funny. He said, "This tastes like." It was super funny. I don't know if you guys have a hand in that, but that was actually a really good email. So, determined outcome is better. So what they get is better. Higher risk, that's a downside. And what I'll do is let me use red. I'll use red for bad, and then blue for good. So that way we can see it better. Okay, so this one we'll do in red. Right. This one we'll do in red because that's bad. So this one's health. It's not that it's bad. It's just there's less people interested in health than money. All right. So let me go to time. This is gonna take a ton of time. It's gonna take a ton of effort. All right. This one here is not gonna take any time and it's not gonna take any effort. So let's look at the other tangible. So on paper, this one wins 3-1, right? But there's a couple things you can't see from it. So what I like for this one is anyone can buy it. So let's do pros and cons. So yeah, we'll do pros and cons. So what I like is anyone can buy it. That's what I like. The con about this is that it's cheap. So realistically, if Justin's gonna sell this, he either has to have a super high-end back ticket offer. Back ticket means they buy the supplement and then you're upselling stuff. So like B-Shred, he sells a million things. So
we're watching his content,
Yeah, so he's like, yeah, buy this and you don't have to do anything and look like me. Yeah. And then they buy it and then they're upselling on the back end more expensive things. Why? Because he runs a ton of ads. So what B-Shred does is they have all these ads here selling low price things because there's a broader audience, and then this will usually make $0, and then on the back end they're selling higher price stuff. So the goal for most advertisers when they sell low price things is to break even. Okay, so if Justin had no following, what would I say? I'd say 100% this, because if he posts, he's not going to get any sales for the supplement because no one follows him, and it's going to be really expensive on ads. But he does have a following. So what's the pros and the cons? The pro is that on this one, so we'll say not anyone. Okay. So the pro on this one is anyone can buy it and it's cheap. So I could see Justin selling this just organically, no ads, crush. Either, regardless of what you guys sell or start with, you should start everything organically. Why? Because you're not paying for any advertising. You can see what works and you can figure the kinks out. So what I love about this, anyone can buy it. What I don't like is it's cheap. So if you guys run advertising, it's going to get really expensive and you have to sell more on the back end, or you have to have it on recurring, right? So First Form, what they've done really well is they get people to keep buying it. So if you can get people to keep buying it, great, but you're only going to know that after testing. It's called LTV. So when you sell the supplement, what you guys would be looking at is, do they stay on average for 3 months? Do they stay on average for 6 months? Is it 12 months? Because think about it, if you're selling a $47 offer, or let's say the supplement is $50. If you're selling a $50 offer and they stay on average for 6 months, well, what that tells me is I can actually spend closer to $300 and still make money. Yeah. But it's how much money do you want to make? But if most people stay on for 1 month, you guys are, unless you sell something higher price, right? The thing I want you to understand in the beginning, and this is what I said, is Justin can sell both and make a money with his organic audience. But when he taps that out, then what does he do? You have to start running ads. It's going to take a long time to tap out, but I'm being hypothetical here.
What's better in terms of like long-term potential for recurring? I'm assuming it'll be fierce, right? Okay.
Yeah, because think about it. It hits this. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
This is always going to be that way. No matter how good this program is, no matter what the you guys do. The other thing is the ads will work better on this. It's just you have to have stuff to sell in the back end. Or, like you were saying before, you just have to get a lot of recurring. Because what will happen is if you get a lot of recurring, you can spend more on the ads up front. You'll lose money up front, but you know you're going to make it up later. That's fine. This is going to be really hard to get recurring unless they get a lot of results. I don't know how long it's going to take. So, for example, let me ask you this. How long do you think, if I was brand new to construction, it would take me to become successful? Meaning I'm making, I don't know what decent money would be, but I'm making good money. Where I'm happy.
It's like $1 million a year, right?
And I mean, that's a lot, but let's say,
it would be like,
what would the take home be at $1 million? What do you think?
30%? Yeah, 30% would be like.
Okay, so that's pretty good. So let's just say, how many people would be happy with 100 grand running their own company? Would they be happy with that or not really? How much do you think they need to make?
I think they would be happy to make 100 grand.
Okay, so how long would it take for them to make 100 grand take home? Or yeah, let's say
8 months. Probably like 8 months.
Okay, so 8 months. So you see that right there? It's not bad, but if they pay you 10 grand and let's just say hypothetically, it takes 8 months to get significant results. It's what else are you going to sell them while they're waiting? Because what they're going to say is, what? Well, I already paid you 10 grand. I haven't made my money back yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you guys could tell me, hey, it's going to take them 30 days like Hermosi to get them 10K, guess what? Yeah. I'll pay more. So it's all about how fast they can get the result. The thing I love here is that it's instant. They just go, and they eat it. That's why drugs do so well, and like Pablo Escobar and all those guys, because they just sell it and they're done. There's no fulfillment.
Yeah.
All they're doing is selling.
With the construction side of things, that when I look at effort, I just look at all the bureaucratic process of forms and
yeah, it's a lot of bullshit, right? Did any of you guys are you guys all from construction or?
Yeah, we're not from construction.
Okay, no, I didn't know.
We're actually from online.
Oh, okay, got it. Cool. Okay, awesome.
But
I didn't know. You sound like knowledgeable about it. I'm not.
Yeah, no,
knowledgeable
like
about it.
I mean, it's just from hanging around with Justin. It's just
okay.
Like it's all paper still.
Yeah,
it's all paper.
Well, there's guidelines in the city, and I mean, yeah, it's a nightmare.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why 8 months. I mean.
So what I would say is this: it depends where you guys want to go. And they're going to take a lot of effort, and it depends how big your team is. From my business experience, it's usually never a good idea to do two things at once if it's the same teams. Meaning, like you could oversee it, for example.
Yeah.
But if you're doing all the day-to-day here and there, it gets really hard.
There needs to be two CEOs, pretty much.
I would agree.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because or you just do one at a time and you wait. So, for example, my companies now. You have to have someone who's in the company, because even right now I'm spending time with you. There's stuff going on right now, and I can't be on my phone doing it, so someone else has to be doing it. They're both gonna work. I think this one this could sell for more. It's a longer term play, but there's more risk, which is also why it will sell for more. The risk I see is the competition. There's a lot of supplement companies.
Yeah.
Right. And so what people are going to go is what makes Justin different than First Form or whoever. But he has a big audience, so he's going to sell it initially. It's just what's going to happen in the long run. This
zero competition,
and it's going to work right out the gate. I mean, I can set up your guys' funnel tomorrow, and you run it, and you'll start making sales immediately. This is not that simplistic.
I think it was way more than I expected, which is a good thing, which means that I'm gonna have to really, study up on a lot of things. But yeah, I just, I don't really know what's next. So just knowing this in the beginning is really good, because it's only the basics. What we're gonna go into next is really gonna help us really run the two businesses together.